preach. Teach us how to shout and teach us how to give us all the vocabulary and all these insightful and all these deep, profound doctrines of the Bible. No, teach us how to pray. Because prayer is the keys that opens our minds and help us understand the scriptures. I always say this book is not difficult to understand. This book is difficult to swallow. And the only way you will understand is through the power of the Holy Spirit. And God can make it possible. God can only unfold and just unlocks all these mysteries that may appear to be, and He can help us understand that you will never be successful if you don't pray. I don't want to sound a prosperity gospel preacher, but there's a truth in that. You will never be successful if you don't pray. You will fall and never stand back up if you don't pray. Psalmist says, righteous fall and he stands back up. But the wicked falls and he stays there. The promise is not that you're not going to fall. The promise is you will get back up. You're not going to stay there. That is the promise. Having Jesus in the boat doesn't mean the boat will not see storms. It only means it will not sink. That is the promise. We will fall. We will have problems. We will go through, but we won't stay there. He'll come for us and He'll pick us up and put us back where we ought to be. You don't pray? What's the commonest answer? Robert quite nicely brought that to our attention. Why do you think people don't pray? It's not a rhetorical question. I would really appreciate an answer. Why do you think people don't pray? What's the common answer you get?
Too busy.
Exactly. I suppose you've gone through these notes. You don't pray not because you're too busy to pray. Listen, you don't pray because you're not spiritual. We don't pray. People say we don't pray because we are too busy. No, you don't pray because you're not spiritual. You don't pray because you don't love God. You don't pray. You don't say don't love God. I will not talk to you at least till next Sunday. The reason we don't pray because we are arrogant, not because we are busy. Examine yourself. If you don't pray, it doesn't mean you're busy. It means you're arrogant. Because you think I'm self-sufficient. I don't need God to help me. I can do all that by myself. You're arrogant. You're selfish. You're full of yourselves. You're not busy. Get this right. Somebody said if the devil can't manipulate you, he keeps you busy. If the devil can't get you to do wrong things, he gets you busy. Busyness. Unnecessary busyness. Like Robert said, if anything gets in the way, Jesus said, if your right hand gets in the way, chop it off. If your arm gets in the way, chop it off. If your eyes gouge it out. What he's saying is anything that gets in the way between you and God, get rid of it. Whatever it is. You're not busy. You're arrogant. You're not spiritual. You hate God. You hate God. You really do. Because if you wouldn't, you would like to communicate and you would like to talk to Him. Don't you dare pick on someone who knows the power of prayer. Someone taught me a long time ago. He said, Raqib, don't you dare pick on someone or mess with someone who knows the power of prayer. He said, don't you mess, Raqib, with someone who communicates with God, because He's the King of the universe. And people would say, well, that makes praying people boastful. No, it doesn't. Only the pretentious prayerful people it would. But to the rightful prayer people, it will not make them, it will make them humble even more. That there's a God that I know. And he said, Raqib, don't you ever, whatever you do, never pick on someone who knows the power of prayer, because you are in real danger then. Prayerful people, I say, are the most dangerous people walking on the planet Earth. You think probably people with armed and weapons and all that and all these atomic powers and all that. No, you haven't got it right. Prayerful people are the most dangerous people walking on planet Earth because God fights their battles. God handles their issues. God takes care of them. And you don't want to mess with people who know God. If that makes you arrogant, you don't know God. That should make you even humbler and meeker and understand that without God, you have no value. And we are very vulnerable, and when God is not on your side. Are you a praying man or a praying woman? Are you a prayer warrior or a needless worrier? Who are you? A worrier or a warrior? One who looks upon the Lord and crying for help, or looking around and trying to figure it out. Who are you? Are you trying to looking around and trying to figure things out, or are you the one who look up? That will define who you truly are. Stephen Hawking Have you heard this name? You probably have. He was a famous English theoretical physicist and a cosmologist and an author. Died, I think, 2018. He once said, heaven is an atheist. He said,